It's time now for a big story breakdown. Over the years, the National Assembly has become what many political watchers describe as a retirement home for governors at the end of their tenure in office. Although no law in Nigeria disqualifies former governors from seeking to become senators, some analysts worry that making it a tradition may not be healthy for the country's democracy. In the 2023 general election, some serving and former governors failed in their bid to switch to the Senate. But this time, several governors are also contesting senatorial seats in their states. Let's bring you some of the numbers and some upsets that have been witnessed so far, especially in the APC primaries. All right, so looking at it, the APC Senate primaries 2026, we're looking at who got a ticket, who lost everything, and what it means for 2027. So the APC held senatorial primaries across all 109 senatorial districts on Monday. But before voting even began at all, 44 aspirants were barred, and 4 sitting governors also entered the race, talking about, trying to make a switch. And this is a sign that this primary season is directly shaping the party's 2027 Senate strategy. And the way we had it, the 10 Senate leadership core actually emerged victorious from Monday's primaries intact. You talk about Godswill Akpabio, who's the Senate president. He was affirmed in Akwa Ibom Northwest with an extraordinary 121,425 votes in an uncontested process that his media office actually described as carnival-like. For the deputy president of the Senate, Ibrahim Barau from Kano North, it was a consensus agreement with the INEC monitoring team confirming the exercise was peaceful and orderly. The number 3 man, Okwemi Bamidele, the Senate leader from Ekiti Central, was actually returned unopposed, and he was is now advancing toward a 3rd term. And for former Senate President Ahmad Lawan, who lost the Senate presidency in 2023, he secured his return ticket in Yobe North through affirmation there and maintaining political relevance in the Northeast. Also notable, we have someone like Adams Oshiomole from Edo North. You have Alin Dume in Borno South, Ojus Okalo, Abia North, with over 65,000 votes in that primary. The uniformity of these outcomes, all by affirmation, consensus, or uncontested process, points to deliberate coordination at the very top of the party. Now, let's look at another slide. Now, we have 4 sitting governors who have thrown their hearts in the ring and have stepped into the Senate ring on Monday, and it's with mixed but largely dominant outcomes. In the Southeast, we have Hope Uzodinma. He contested that primary against former governor Rochas Okorocha, who has himself actually been in the Senate, and he defeated him by a staggering ratio of roughly 210. You have 210 rather to 1. You have 230,464 votes against 1,098 polled by Senator Okorocha, and that became one of the most lopsided contests of the entire exercise. We have Abdurrahman Abdurazak from Kwara Central. He's the incumbent governor, now he's going to the Senate. We had Dakwa Abiodun, who's thrown his hat in, and we have Inuwa Yahaya from Gombe North. These 4 governors are now in the race for the senatorial seats. Now, these are some numbers that tell the story that you should actually know about. Let's talk about Delta North, a major upset there. The former governor of the state, Ifeanyi Okowa, actually defeated incumbent Senator Ned Nwoko. Now, see the difference. Ifeanyi Okowa polled 113,309 votes, while Ned Nwoko was left with just 2,612 votes. And if you look at the ratio, it's 43 to 1, with Senator Nwoko leading in only 1 of 9 councils at the start. In Imo West, yet another upset there. You have sitting governor Hope Uzodinma defeating his predecessor, Rochas Okorocha. Now see the difference in the numbers. 230,464 as against Senator Okorocha's 1,098. Sitting governor defeating the former governor who once held the same Senate seat, and Okorocha's assets in Imo State have been a flashpoint between these 2 men. Now, We also had former power brokers who lost in this race. We'll talk about Nedinwoko in Delta State. Delta North, to be specific, 2,612 votes is what he polled against Ifeanyi Okowa's 113,309 votes. We just spoke about Rocha Okorocha in Imo West. He polled 1,098 votes against Uzodinma's 230,464 votes. In Delta State, you have Delta Central. Now you have Oviomo Agege, former deputy president of the Senate, polling 3,643 votes against Dafinone's 116,252 votes. If you turn to Kogi East, that's in North Central Nigeria, you have Jibrin Isai Chocho, who was, he declared the outcome, rejected, but then he's also one of those former power brokers who have lost out in this. You have Dajima Goje in Gombe Central, polling 10,425 votes against Ahmed for the 2,785. And Neda Imaswan in Edo State also, Edo South specifically now, he lost to Ogbede Ihama. So these are some of the former brokers who lost out in this vote. Let's see what happens in the coming days and what their action would actually be in this matter. That is the big story breakdown. We will return with other stories